From the Millersville University Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Kyle Elliott here with the medium range forecast and video discussion issued on Monday, January 12th. Well, after a mild start and middle portion of the week, we're going to have a major pattern reshuffling late this week and really through much of the, if not all of the rest of January. In fact, the large scale pattern is going to do a total 180 and flip completely, in contrast to what we've seen over the last 7 to 10 days. And you can see that nicely here by looking at the upper level pattern, or really what meteorologists term as the jet stream pattern across North America from the period starting late this week through the middle of next week. And what you'll notice here, again, that large scale reorganization of the pattern with this extreme northward bulge in the jet stream, or a ridge over the eastern Pacific and western North America. And then, of course, what goes up must come down. So in response, you get this deep trough or dip in the jet stream over the central and eastern United States. What we're going to notice as we go throughout the medium range forecast period and then again through the end of January is this persistent northwesterly flow out of Canada. So we're going to have this connection with these Canadian air masses and even polar air masses throughout the rest of the month after this Tuesday and Wednesday. So as a result, we're going to see these persistently below average temperatures kind of settle into the region late this week, and that's persistently chilly air is going to stick around then through the end of the month. But there's going to be an issue here for snow lovers. You'll notice that with this fast northwesterly flow, we're just going to see a lot of these weak moisture-starved systems within the northern branch of the jet stream. There really doesn't appear to be any connection with the southern branch of the jet stream whatsoever. The southern branch is weak to begin with. So as a result, we're just probably not going to see any substantial storms on the East Coast. We may see some minor or nuisance events, generally 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inch snowfalls, or generally even less than that. But overall, I think that the period's just going to be cold and relatively dry. So without further ado, I'll start by taking a look at the Canadian model for 1 p.m. on Thursday. And all this talk about this major system during the middle of the week is really going to fall flat. And that's for the reasons I kind of just discussed. And I'll go into that a little bit more here in a few slides. But as of 1 p.m. on Thursday, it now just looks like we're going to have a general cold frontal passage late Wednesday afternoon through Wednesday night. So by Thursday, it may very well just be dry across northern Maryland, southeastern PA, and the lower Susquehanna Valley. There will be some showers associated with that frontal passage later Wednesday into Wednesday night. Those rain showers may briefly mix with or end as a brief period of very light snow late Wednesday night, but I'm certainly not expecting any accumulations at all whatsoever at this point. So Thursday, in the wake of that front, it does look like it's going to turn colder and windier. We're going to have west to northwesterly winds of 12 to 25 miles per hour with gusts up to 40 miles per hour Thursday afternoon, and that will accompany high temperatures only in the low to mid 30s. So wind chills are going to be stuck in the high teens to low 20s on Thursday afternoon. So definitely make sure to dress in layers and wear a winter coat and gloves before heading out the door to work or school. And here's the reason why we're not going to see a big storm. There's actually many factors. I've highlighted in these dark black X's the two disturbances of interest as we go from Wednesday into Thursday. The one over the Great Lakes region is associated with the northern branch of the jet stream. First and foremost, you'll notice how much more well-defined and stronger that northern branch disturbance is. The problem is it's moisture starved. There's nowhere for it to grab a source of moisture. You're not going to tap into Gulf or Atlantic moisture with that disturbance being located over the eastern Great Lakes region. The disturbance within the southern branch of the jet stream is located way down here near the Florida Panhandle, and as a result, these two disturbances just aren't going to phase or join forces. So therefore, we're not going to have a big storm system along the east coast of the United States. Why aren't they phasing? Well, it's fairly quite simple. There's no blocking here over Greenland, and we also don't have this upper level low to the north and east of the Canadian Maritimes. If you don't have west-based high latitude blocking near or just to the south and west of Greenland, combined with that upper level low to the north and east of the Canadian Maritimes, you're probably not going to get a big storm system on the east coast. And why is that? Well, these northern branch disturbances, they don't have a chance to slow down. And what happens is this high latitude blocking over the North Atlantic acts like an atmospheric traffic jam. So when these northern branch disturbances feel the influence of that blocking, they're forced to drive or even dig farther south. In this case, we don't have that. So you don't have these northern branch disturbances really being forced to dive south, or instead they just generally sweep from west to east and they miss the connection with that southern branch of the jet stream. So as a result, we're just going to be left again with that cold frontal passage and a few rain showers later Wednesday into Wednesday night, and that'll do it for that system. So then as we move forward into Friday, you see another one of these northern branch clipper type disturbances over the Great Lakes region on the Canadian, the European model. Has that disturbance a lot farther north around the northern tip of Lake Superior. But either way you slice it, Friday just looks like a partly sunny and seasonably cold day. Here across southeastern PA, high temperatures should be in the low to mid 30s, so perhaps a few degrees below average, but really nothing outstanding for this time of the year. As we move forward into the weekend, then, there are some differences between the models. You'll notice the Canadian model has that initial disturbance already over the central Appalachians on Saturday. The European has that disturbance back over the Great Lakes region. So then as we move forward into Sunday, the Canadians suggest we may get a few light snow showers or flurries Saturday night, but then we're in between disturbances on Sunday. In contrast, the Euro has that disturbance over the Great Lakes region Saturday, and then by Sunday, it tries to redevelop that system on the coast, but again, it misses the connection with the southern branch. It redevelops too late, and all we're left with are some snow showers and flurries later Saturday night into Sunday morning with little or no accumulation. So again, the exact details are going to be impossible to finesse. Models are notoriously bad at timing each one of these weak northern branch disturbances in the medium and long range periods. So trying to provide exact details is going to essentially be impossible outside of 3 or 4 days. So just stay tuned for further updates throughout the week. So as we take a look at the medium range forecast, mostly cloudy, windy, and colder on Thursday, high 36. Cold on Friday with a mix of clouds and sun, high 32. Variably cloudy and cold on Saturday with a chance of snow showers, high 32. And then similarly on Sunday, partly to mostly cloudy and cold with a chance of snow showers with a high again in the low to mid 30s. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Medium Range Forecast. Tune back in next Tuesday for the latest edition. Until then, bundle up and stay warm out there late this week and into the upcoming weekend.